Dear students, welcome to the lab. Here, I'm going to discuss about the IV characteristics of LED by virtual method. The basic aim of this experiment is to understand the voltage current characteristics of LED. That means how the current is going to change with respect to the given input voltage. Before going to the particular experiment, I want to introduce the LED principle and working method. I am also going to discuss about the components, what we are going to use to measure the IV characteristics of LED. LED is nothing but light emitting diode. In LED, light released as output when charge carriers are recombined within the material. The LED is nothing but like a PN junction diode, and it is connected in the forward biased highly doped compound semiconductor, and it uses electroluminescence to create the light. And the color of the output, the color of LED, depend on energy of photon, which in turn depends on the chosen semiconductor energy gap. So the chosen semiconductor is one of the basic criteria to decide the color of the output. Here I mentioned highly doped semiconductors are suitable for the construction of LED. Why highly doped semiconductors are suitable for the construction of LED? In case of highly doped semiconductor, there is a possibility of getting more charge carriers like electrons and holes in N-type and P-type semiconductor respectively. So that when such PN semiconductor is connected in forward bias, we can expect more recombination between the electron hole pairs, which in turn produce more photons. And also mention direct band gap semiconductors are suitable for the construction of LED. Why we have to consider only direct band gap semiconductor? In general, we have various kinds of semiconductors. One is, in case of a recombination point of view, one is take it as the direct band gap semiconductors and another is take it as the indirect band gap semiconductor. Whereas in case of direct band gap semiconductor, the electron of the conduction band recombined directly with the valency band hole, the difference amount of energy is released in the form of photon. Whereas in case of indirect band gap semiconductor like silicon, germanium, both recombination energy released in the form of heat. In this case, the electron of the conduction band and whole of the valency band is recombined in indirect way. The example for the direct band gap semiconductors are compound semiconductor like gallium arsenide, indium phosphorus, etc. Whereas in case of indirect band gap semiconductors, example point of view, elemental semiconductor like silicon and germanium. I hope you understand which material is suitable for the construction of LED. So in case of LED point of view, the suitable semiconductors are highly doped direct band gap semiconductors are suitable for the construction of LED. We can see we can see in this diagram. So this is the conduction band electrons and this is the valency band hole. The difference amount of energy is released when it is recombined. So the highest band conduction band electron is recombined with the lowest band valency electron. The difference amount of energy is released in the form of photon, that is light photon. Whereas in case of indirect band, here it is the emission of energy takes place in the form of heat. And diagrammatic representation of the LED point of view. Here, this is a p-type semiconductor. It is an n-type semiconductor. In case of p, majority are the hole, and in case of n, majority are the electrons. So it is connected the forward bias. That means positive terminal of the battery is connected to the p-type of the semiconductor. Negative terminal of the battery is connected to the n-type of the semiconductor. Once, if you supply sufficient amount of voltage to the p-n junction, then the positive is push the holes towards the n side. Similarly, electrons are pushed by the negative terminal of the battery towards the p side. Once, if the applied voltage, the forward biased voltage is more than the barrier potential of the p-n junction diode, then electron comes towards the p-type and hole move towards the n-type. When it is moving to the other side, they can able to recombine with the electron recombine with the holes, then the difference amount of energy is released in the form of photon. That photon is released in the form of light, where in case of the direct band gap semiconductors. In this way, we can able to produce the light in case of LED. This is the symbolic representation of the LED. Here, it's similar to the PN junction diode, but the arrow is representing the light is coming out from the diode. Coming to the experimental point of view, what components we have to take, can you guess? To measure the IV characteristics of LED, what components we have to take? Then obviously, we have to take the LED because we are measuring the LED characteristics, right? Then obviously, you have to choose the light emitting diode. Take it as one of the component for the experiment. Our aim is to calculate the current voltage characteristics. So obviously we have to take the ammeter and voltmeter as one of the component to measure the IV characteristics. To give the input voltage, need to take the battery, and we are applying the variable voltage, then obviously that is controlled by the resistor combination. So then obviously the required combinations, required components are LED, battery with variable voltage setup, voltmeter, ammeter, resistance, and to connect the different components, we use the patch cards. And coming to the circuit diagram point of view, this is the circuit diagram of the IV characteristics of LED. This is a variable voltage, and it is a resistor, and it is the ammeter, and it is the LED, and it is the voltmeter. Here, the voltmeter is connected parallel to the LED, and it is connected series with the ammeter. So this is a model graph. What we are going to observe, as you keep on increasing the voltage, the current changes behavior. The trend of current with respect to the voltage should be like this. So up to particular voltage, there is no current because that energy, that voltage is not sufficient to recombine with the electron hole charge carriers, because barrier voltage stops the movement of the electron from the n side to the p side. Similarly, the same barrier voltage stops the movement of the holes from the p type to the n type. Once it reaches to the barrier voltage, there is a possibility to recombine with the electron and hole of the n type and p type semiconductor. Then there is a possibility to generate the current. So this is a circuit diagram and model graph, and we are going to observe the voltage and the current characteristics of LED by using the virtual method. And for this, we use the software that called as Tinkercad. And in this, we can create the different electrical circuits by using the various electrical components. In this, first I will explain the procedure to construct the circuit, followed with the observation. See, I select the various components what we are using for the measurement of the IV characteristics of LED. For this, I taken the breadboard. And this is the ammeter. You can observe is generally called as multimeter. It can be used for the measurement of the various values like a ammeter, like amperes, voltage, and we can measure the resistance also. So this is another multimeter, but it is used for the measurement of the voltage and it is used for the measurement of the current. Here A blinking means that it nothing but this is going to be used for the measurement of the current and it is going to be used for the voltage. And we taken the LED and the resistor and the battery combination. We have taken the 1.4 volt battery of 4. That means the total voltage is 6 volt battery. And potentiometer is used to. Coming to the connection point of view, breadboard is a construction base for prototyping of electronics. A breadboard is used to make up temporary circuits for testing or try out an idea. In this breadboard, no soldering is required, so it is easy to change connections and replace the components. The top and bottom, just you can see here, the top and bottom are linked horizontally. The other rows are linked vertically. That means these are connected in series. In this breadboard, first I place the LED. Just I am placing the LED here. So this is the cathode and it's the anode. For this LED, initially it connected with the battery with variable voltage. For this, initially we are using battery with potentiometer combination and resistor is also need to place to vary the voltage. For this, I taken the resistor, I connected here. And this battery point of view, battery negative is connected with the one of the terminal of the Y. One of the terminal of the wiper, and to represent the negative and positive, I make it as black. And another, the positive of the battery is connected with the positive of the battery is connected with the another terminal of the wiper, and to differentiate, I take it as a red. Here, the red is take it as the positive and the black is take it as the green. And the wiper, the potentiometer wiper is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Sorry, positive terminal of the ammeter. And to differentiate, this is take it as red. So just to differentiate, I treat like this. So battery connection with wiper combination is complete. Now I'm going to finish the ammeter combination. Ammeter negative terminal is connected with the ammeter negative terminal is connected with the resistor point. Ammeter negative terminal is connected with the resistor and I take it terminal to the black. And how we can connect the potentiometer, like multimeter, which is used for the measurement of the voltage. So generally the potentiometer is connected in any kind of circuit parallel to the circuit. So now I want to measure the voltage. So for this, initially, I connect the LED, negative terminal of the LED is connected to the negative terminal of the potentiometer and I turn it to the black color. And the positive of the LED is connected to the positive terminal of the potentiometer. And what we missed here in the circuit, the battery, the end terminal, LED negative and battery negative should connect with the negative terminal of the battery. So for this, I take in the junction of the both LED and potentiometer and I connect to the negative terminal of the battery. Now the connections is over. Just will observe what is changes that is with respect to the voltage current point of view. Now the circuit connection point of view it is over. Just we start with the stimulation. So when we press the start stimulation button, initially it is showing 0 amps and 0 volt. That means when you apply the voltage 0, it's showing the 0 amps current. Now I'm keeping on increasing the voltage. That means I am varying the voltage supply to the LED. Now I am observing the current changes of the LED. By using the potentiometer, I keep on varying the voltage. For example, when we take in 240 millivolt, there is no change in the current value. Just I increase the current value 600 millivolt, 720, 840. Even when we keep on increasing the voltage, so there is no just when it reached a particular voltage, then the current starts to rise. And just to observe at 1.6 the current value is 0, but when it is 1.61 the current is 11.4. So just if I keep on increasing the voltage value, then the current is drastically shoots up. So we have to take these measurements. Have to take these measurement. Initially, 0 volt, 0. Just uh, observe these values and tabulate in a and place in a particular table. For this, I use a particular table. Just you see. See here, these are the Excel sheet we use to tabulate the values. Just what we observed here, initially we taken the 0 value of voltage and 0 of the current. So just see here, when we see the here, just when we increase the voltage value 120, the value is 0. Here it is 120 millivolt, the current is 0. Now, 360, 360, the current is 0.